Hi guys, Pete Mazeris, the Home Inspector Mentor, here to talk to you about pricing your services. Pricing is something that is obviously important in our business, and we can use to our advantage or sometimes disadvantage depending on the market and what our competitors are doing. So, when you are first starting out and you have your licenses, your certifications, your training, and you've practiced on several homes and have become proficient with your process, and you are now ready to start engaging with the marketplace. One of the first things that you have to get down is what your pricing is going to be. And so, my recommendation is to price your services in the middle of the pack. And so, how do you know where that is? Well, these days, things are available online at your competitors' sites. Most of them will have their pricing either available via a rate sheet that they publish, or it is available on their website if you enter in different addresses via their estimating pricing widget, which most of us have. Like, you can go to my website, www.detailedhomeinspectionsclevelandohio.com, and you can figure out all my pricing simply by putting in different addresses and noting what the square footage is, because that's what I base our pricing um, basis on, and our multiples on, is square footage, because I'm always thinking how long it takes me to do a particular house. And a lot of that is contingent on square footage. Now, granted, a 100-year-old house that's 2,500 square feet is going to take longer to inspect a brand new house that's 2,500 square feet, right? But the differences shouldn't be, too astronomical. So you have to put a stake in the ground somewhere, and I did it via square footage. So if my base rate for the minimum price of doing an inspection is $350, typically what I'm going to do is bump that price up $50 every, I think, 500 square feet. And then as we get up into, let's say, larger houses, I may bump it up every $100 every 500 square feet, because they're more valuable homes, typically larger, more things to inspect inside them, and so forth. And so I would caution you not to set your pricing too low in the marketplace when you are just starting. And there's several reasons for that. First is that people are going to wonder if your pricing is significantly lower than your competitors. And in this day and age, with homes pricing continuing to skyrocket, the difference of 50, 100, $200 between inspectors, probably 100 or $200 between inspectors, might raise flags, because, no home buyer wants to hire a inspector who is not going to provide very quality, detailed, and thorough services, because obviously they're buying a house. It's their biggest investment of their life, unless you're talking investors who are buying 10, 15, 20 houses a month. And so those guys might want to negotiate something lower. But if you price yourself too low, then that perception could prevent you from getting that phone call or inquiry for an inspection. So the other thing is, I know that when you're first starting out, that you don't have a whole lot to compete against with, according to, or not according to, but against experienced inspectors. And so you compete with discount cards, or negotiations with people who call you and, see that your price is the same plus or minus $50 as some other inspectors, and they say, hey, would you be willing to do it for 50 bucks? Yes, less. And of course, my recommendation is yes. If you're just starting your business, you need to get in front of as many people and realtors as you can and get paid for it would be a bonus. And so, whether you're doing an inspection for $350 or $450, it doesn't really matter when you're building your business, in my opinion. And so the other thought process is that if you price your services in the middle of the road, then you can just discount those prices. For instance, I'm a big proponent of the $50 off or $75 off or $100 off discount card handed out to realtors in order to gain market share by getting more exposure to agents. And so if your price is $350 and somebody redeems a $50 discount card, then you ended up doing it for 300 bucks anyway. And so to me, that is more, not more, but I think it's a smarter marketing tactic to do it that way as opposed to just advertising that your base rate is $300, because you need to give an incentive when you are first starting out to gain traction in your market. Because, like I've said previously, how are you going to compete with more experienced and tenured inspectors other than on price, unless you're offering other services maybe for free, like radon testing or WDI inspections? And so I think that is how I would recommend you price your services. And that's what I did when I was first starting out. And so I think it's a good approach, and I think it's an easy approach, and you can simply create your own rate sheet that I would recommend that you don't publish, and you keep that to yourself, but know that when you're pricing a house, key in on the square footage. Set your rate at like $350 for a 1,500 square foot house, okay, plus or minus $50, let's say. And then a 2,000 square foot house would be $50 more, okay? And then, every 500 square feet, jack up your fee $50 to $75, commensurate with what your competition is doing. And if you do that and you offer discounts, you should have a pretty good footing to establish yourself in your marketplace as you start going out there and gaining clients. Because pretty soon, those realtors who pass out your $50 discount cards, they're gonna put you on their list, assuming that you've done your due diligence and you have gotten your process down and your communication style down and your report writing style down. And those realtors are just going to start referring you without a discount. And so that's the whole point. You want to get referrals and business based on your published rate without a discount. I mean, that's where you're heading. There's going to come a point in time where you get, hopefully, busy enough that there's no discounts. And that's why you should always put a expiration date on your coupons, because you don't want that coupon coming out 2 years from now when you're really busy, hopefully, and then you have to give a $50 discount to do an inspection on a Sunday morning, right? So anyway, hope this is helpful, guys. Take care.